Hey everyone, welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm Coach Bob Herb, joined as always by my co-host, Coach Patrick Lentz. Patrick, the girls basketball postseason's heating up, and the area round did not disappoint.
It sure didn't, Bob. There were some big moments, some surprises, and some teams that are absolutely on a mission right now. We've got full results and a look ahead at who's next.
Hey, plus we're dropping our top 10 rankings of both girls and boys soccer, giving you a Baker's Dozen update in softball and baseball, and we've got something new in the ALAMO City Sports Network digital store that coaches are going to love.
For sure. It's a packed show, so let's get into it.
All right, let's start with girls basketball area round. Here's how things played out. On Thursday night, Kerrville-Tivy beat McCullum 62-55. Austin Bowie handled Warren 57-39. Some of the smaller schools played, where Columbus took it to Hondo 54-38. Lago Vista put up 50 to Floresville's 37. And the lone local winner was Cole, 44 over Tidehaven's 38. Not a great first night for local teams in the area round, but it wasn't done. Friday night, in 6A D1, had Brennan handling Cedar Ridge 67-44. 6A D2 was busy with Vandergrift defeating Harlan 46-27, and Austin Westlake staying unbeaten on the year over Sotomayor 45-21. Harlingen beat San Marcos 47-35. Next, in 5A D1, Leander Glenn took it to South San 40-26, and the dominant performance of the night, Wagner 91 to Southwest 27. In 5A D2's lone game was Cedar Park 52, MacArthur 47. In the Battle of the Titans in 4A D1, the one that we wanted to see, Davenport outlasted Lavernia 60-54. In D2, Fredericksburg continued their run with a 58-22 win over Cuero. And Carrizo Springs defeated Maynard Newtek 49-35. Another small school with a big win was Crystal City over Edna 73-42.
Some great basketball being played. Let's take a minute to highlight some of the athletes that are getting it down, that got it done in round one.
For sure.
Obviously, the Brennan Bears steamrolled the Reagan Rattlers behind Bella Fleming's 27-point game. That was huge.
She's legit. Yeah.
Like we talked about last week, there was a big game between Lee and Sotomayor.
Right.
Jordan Pete actually led the Wildcats to victory over Lee with a team-high 19 points. Ended the year for the Volunteers. Sadly, the seniors Rosanelli Pastrano and Lila Yanover, they had a great season, but that ended pretty, fell short. But that was one of our games to watch, and it really didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
So it was super close in the first half, but the Wildcats pulled away in the third quarter, and the Volunteers just couldn't catch up. So, unfortunately, Soto came up against Westlake last night.
Like we said, undefeated on the year.
Undefeated on the year, and they just couldn't get it done. But, hey, it was awesome to see them make it to the area round. Moving on, Judson's very own Delaney Arredondo had 31 points in a fantastic win over Medina Valley in the first round.
Right.
And then South San's Jocelyn Torres had 15 points, with Marley Maldonado coming in with just one under with 14 in their win against San Antonio Highlands. So some great performances out there. So, and then leading the way in the area round was the Wagner Lady T-Birds. Obviously, like you said, they took it to Southwest from the opening tip, winning 91-27. They had Leah Mitchell with 18 points, followed by Nia McBride 17. Nia had 11 in the first quarter with 4 steals to set the tone, which is pretty great. And then Kazaria Fox added 13 points. And so it's that balanced scoring and defense that sets Wagner apart from the others. At the half, they were up 51-11 before slowing it down. That defensive pressure never ends. So good luck to Wagner in the next round.
Awesome. All right, so now let's take a look at that next round. Here's the matchups for the San Antonio area. In 6A D1, Brennan's going to face Buda Johnson. 6A D2, Judson will take on Vandergrift. 5A, big school, in the classic battle, Wagner will square off against Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. More on that later. 5A D2 has Tivy versus Sherryland. In 4A D1, the Davenport Wolves have Beeville Jones. And in 4A D2, Carrizo Springs takes on Zapata, and Fredericksburg draws Sinton. In 3A D1, Crystal City has Bishop. In 3A D2, Cole has Taft. And I'm still searching for that Jordanton score against Poth from this past weekend, and I cannot find it anywhere. So we'll let you know about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll pop up soon. 3 games that we will be watching closely are Wagner versus Corpus Christi Vets Memorial, Brennan versus Buda Johnson, and Fredericksburg versus Sinton. We're looking for big things from Brennan and Wagner in these playoffs, and they both have goals to take it all. But these matchups will tell us a lot. So, one team that has started to jump off the paper because of their all-around toughness is Fredericksburg. Their game against Cuero can be found on YouTube. It's a great watch to see control and constant effort. And so good luck to all involved in round 3. We'll have updates on those results on our Wednesday update show, so make sure you're subscribed and you don't miss it.
For sure. All right, so now let's shift to the boys' side. By districts here for boys basketball, and the brackets are set. Here's a look at the matchups. In 6A D1, Reagan faces Warren. Steele takes on United. Brennan battles Johnson. And East Central has Laredo United South. In 6A small school, Judson versus Del Rio. Clemens has Alexander. Brandeis battles O'Connor. And Harlan goes at it with Madison. Moving on to 5A big school, New Braunfels draws powerhouse Leander Glen. Highlands has rival South San. Champion takes on Leander High. And Legacy scraps with Lanier. In 5A D2, Alma Heights has Cedar Park. Edison and Harlandale play. In a good matchup, Veterans Memorial draws Rouse. And Jay gets after it with Sam Houston. 4A D1 pits Davenport versus Lago Vista. Austin LBJ battles Long Creek. Kennedy has Somerset, and Lavernia looks to stay hot against Floresville. In 4A D2, Manor New Tech faces Fredericksburg in the battle of long school names.
Yeah.
Wimberley has Legacy Ranch. Navarro takes on Devine, and Cuero has Pleasanton.
Yeah, there's some fantastic teams from the area going into the playoffs. So keep an eye on Steele, obviously, number 10 in the state. They haven't lost a game since their January 9th loss to Judson.
Wow.
Which leads me to my next team. Obviously, the Rockets are battle-tested and rolling into Del Rio, ready to make a run.
I tell you, that district, they are battle-tested.
Yeah, the Rockets won the first seed. So it's pretty cool the way the playoffs work with the big school, small school. The Steele and the Knights and the Rockets both ended up in different brackets.
Right.
So they can make a run independent of each other. And so they'll represent the northeast side well going in the playoffs. Moving to the west side of town, the Bears, I'm sorry, Brennan Bells.
Always a tongue twister.
Always a tongue twister. I need to drink more coffee. Are rolling behind the stellar play of seniors Donovan Chris and Delano Tarpley. But it's junior Jacob Padilla who's really coming to his own in 2026. They'll be exciting to watch as they kick off playoffs versus the Johnson Jaguars. Both Steele and Brennan are in the same bracket, so we could potentially end up in a Highlander situation. There can only be one, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
All right, it's going to be a great week of basketball. Make sure you're following the Alamo City Sports Network for updates on Wednesday.
All right, soccer fans, you've been waiting for it. We are updating our top 10 girls soccer rankings of the season. So, Coach Herb, let's count them down.
Here we go. Let's do this. At number 10, Piper. Number 9, the Southwest Dragons. Number 8, Clark. Number 7, Sotomayor. Number 6, Warren Warriors. Number 5, Wimberley. Number 4, Reagan. Number 3, Johnson. Number 2, Medina Valley. And number 1, still, Smithson Valley.
I think Coach Kirkpatrick over there in Medina Valley is going to be happy to see the girls soccer team climbing up in the rankings. They've been playing lights out all season and just rolled through the Eagle Pass, beating the Eagles 8-0. So freshman Emily Huntyak and sophomore Jalen Gallo both scored 2 goals apiece, with senior Sydney Lissy, sophomores Melanie Robledo and Allison Rios, and freshman Kendall Kirkpatrick all bringing in solo scores. So Coach Kirkpatrick knows what it takes to win gold balls, and I expect some big things from the Panthers as the season winds down and the playoff pictures starts to shape up. For sure. I think O'Connor is that team at number 11 that could potentially make a push into the top 10.
Right.
That whole district, tango between O'Connor, Sotomayor, and Warren, which we highlighted last week, is fun to watch. And even though the Panthers have had a rough 4-game stretch earlier in the season, they've really on their stride and throwing themselves into that district race. So keep an eye on them.
Coach Kirkpatrick really is a bulldog.
Yeah.
Now, on the boys' side, here's our top 10 rankings for the boys. Number 10, Churchill Chargers. Number 9, New Braunfels. Number 8, Warren. 7, Lavernia Bears. 6, Lanier. 5, Harlan. 4, Piper. At number 3, the Reagan Rattlers. At number 2, Lee. And still number 1, the Southwest Dragons.
All right.
One other quick shout out. The Pleasanton Eagles have not lost in district yet. They are rolling. That's a team to keep your eye on. Boys soccer season is really starting to take shape. We'll keep updating these rankings and the key district races as we get closer as it moves along.
Well, now let's do a quick check-in on the Diamond Sports. Sure. Let's run through the Baker's Dozen rankings for both softball and baseball, starting with softball. So here's the Baker's Dozen. We got a tie at number 13 between Bernie Champion and Medina Valley. At number 12, we've got Bernie. Number 11, Canyon. 10, Burbank. Number 9, South San. Coming in at number 8, Steele. At number 7, O'Connor. 6th is Smithson Valley. 5 is Clemens. 4 is McCollum. 3 is Veterans Memorial. 2 is Reagan. And 1 is East Central.
I tell you, it's kind of cool to see Bernie up there since last week we interviewed Coach Pettibon.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so now let's move on to baseball. Monday and Tuesday, speaking of this, Monday and Tuesday I'll be broadcasting games for Cat Sports Broadcasting Network. Monday I'll be at Tejada Field for the Harlandale-Uvalde game. And on Tuesday, I'll be at Somerset for the Somerset-Hondo game. You can check out Cat Sports Broadcasting YouTube channel for the link, and I'll put the link in the description, by the way. But now, on to the Baker's Dozen. At number 13, Harlandale Indians. At number 12, MacArthur. Number 11, Warren. At number 10, the Medina Valley Panthers. At 9, Johnson. At 8, San Marcos. Number 7, Buda Johnson. At number 6, the Davenport Wolves. Number 5, Lee Volunteers. At number 4, Smithson Valley. Number 3, Sotomayor. At number 2, the Champion Chargers. And still at number 1, the Reagan Rattlers.
Yeah, there's lots of movement on both boards for the Diamonds
for sure
this week. You know, on the softball side, Reagan jumps from 7th to 1st, with Champion climbing from 4th to 2nd. For the boys, Lee enters the board at number 5. Harlandale breaks in at 13. And of course, several teams fall out. And so just expect that to keep happening through the tournament season as these teams learn more, or as we learn more about these teams, they learn more about themselves, right? I think that's why the pros tend to play like 162 games, right?
Yeah.
It takes time for things to mesh, but when they do, it's exciting stuff.
You start to figure out some things.
Yeah.
All right. We don't have a coach's interview this week, but I received a text from a young coach I used to work with. He had one request. He wanted to learn what his strengths were as a coach and what he needed to improve on to move up in the coaching ranks. I told him I got him covered. And that stuck with me. Because of that kind of self-awareness, that willingness to look in the mirror is exactly what separates good coaches from great ones. You know, this is exactly why we created the Leadership Assessment Guide. Young coaches need a system, not just advice. They need to know where they actually stand, not where they think that they stand. That's what the guide does. It gives you a 40-question assessment, shows you your strengths and your blind spots, and then hands you a personalized 90-day plan. Plus, it's fillable, so you can track your progress at every quarter. And if you're just getting started, we've got free resources in our digital store too. Team building activities, season checklists, parent partnership guides, all at the ACSN Digital Store. That link's in the description down there.
Yeah, lots of tongue twisters there. If that sounds like something you need or something you know another coach needs, the link is in the description. Head to the Alamo City Sports Network Digital Store and grab it today. We're building these resources for you, and we want to hear what else you need to help you grow.
Pass it along.
Pass it along.
All right, before we go, let's take a minute to appreciate where we are today. The scenery is great here. We're filming episode 6 at Hardberger Park here in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park. What a spot, right?
It is.
So, it's a 330-acre natural urban oasis in north central San Antonio, managed as a sustainable wildlife habitat, and I can attest there are plenty of deer around here.
Oh, yeah.
The park is divided into east and west sections by Wurzbach Parkway, now seamlessly connected by the iconic Robert L. Beebe Tobin Land Bridge, which features a skywalk through the treetops. The property was formerly the Volker Dairy Farm, which the city purchased for $47 million in 2007. So the park officially opened in May of 2010. It's got fantastic community space on the west side with the Urban Ecology Center, multiple dog parks and playgrounds, ample field space for activities. The land bridge is the first of its kind erected in the United States for both human and wildlife use, and it's also the largest wildlife crossing in the U.S., which is pretty awesome. The park has over 7.5 miles of trails, which I have been over every single one of them, and I can personally attest it's a great place to get in a hike when you're feeling the call of the wild.
Hey, we love getting out of the studio and into the community.
Absolutely.
If you haven't been to Hardberger Park, put it on your list. It's a great place to take the family, go for a hike, or just clear your head.
Yeah, and big thanks to everyone here at Hardberger Park. What a backdrop for episode 6.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode 6 of the Coach's Corner. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate the support at ACSN.
And don't forget, we'll be back on Wednesday with the full basketball playoff update show, results for girls and boys, and everything else you need to know.
Yeah, let me chime in there with this. This past Wednesday, we put out an episode on Wednesday without even letting you know. So they had to do leading into the area around by-district results, that kind of thing. We're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, the area results, we're going to give it to you on Wednesday. So check out our website or our YouTube channel, ACSN, Alamo City Sports Network, for that.
All right, that's it for us at the Coaches Corner. So remember, real coaches, real sports, real San Antonio, and of course, keep it classy, San Antonio.